In the 15 years since Ace and Peter's departure from the band, Kiss was alive and well. Gene and Paul carried on, unmasked, releasing platinum records, hit singles, and sold-out concert tours. But in the wake of the 1980s and early 90s, the question always lingered. Was there ever a chance of the four original members reuniting in makeup?
People would constantly ask us if it was possible, and we'd just tell them the truth. We don't see it happening.
1995, the official Kiss conventions toured the country. Fans could see up close displays of original Kiss costumes, memorabilia, and vintage instruments. Kiss weddings took place at several conventions, with the bride and groom in full Kiss makeup.
You may now kiss the bride.
The Kiss conventions were a new concept where no band had gone before. It was a chance for us to get together one-on-one with our fans and really celebrate the history of the band.
My daughter never saw Kiss. She just never knew what her father really was about. And I thought, what a perfect time to bring it to such an occasion, especially the first LA convention.
Well, we thought it might be something special. We thought Peter could come out and sing a couple of songs.
When they asked me out, I was excited. I knew it was coming. When it happened, my heart started going fast. I think they were even shocked that I remembered some of the lyrics to Hot Luck Woman. It almost felt like going back home, kind of like being safe again. With the guys again, it was good.
It was instantly identifiable and instantly comfortable, and obviously the fans, from the look on their faces, just had the time of their lives. So did we.
It really was a magical and momentous occasion, and just by him coming out there, the way he was received by the fans and the magic and chemistry between us was the first signal that the best was yet to come.
There were a lot of interesting things happening at the time, including MTV asking us to do their Unplugged show. So we thought, hey, the fans would really get a kick out of seeing Peter come up and sing again.
When I showed up for rehearsal, I was really scared when I walked in. We haven't played in years and years and years. And I remember I was the first to walk through the door, and when the door opened, Gene went, "Pete!" And my heart soared. It was like, wow.
The next obvious thought was, well, maybe Ace wants to come up and jam for a song or two.
Riley!
When Ace walked in, it was like a long-lost family member. I can't say that we were never pissed off at each other. That would be a lie. You know, no matter what happened in the past, we immediately hugged. It was unplanned. It just happened.
It was wild to walk into that room and have everybody looking at each other, knowing that it was just a matter of minutes before we picked up our instruments and basically picked up where we left off.
Well, when we started rehearsing for the MTV Unplugged session, you know, I was slightly apprehensive because it was the first time the four of us had gotten together as a foursome in well over 20 years, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what kind of vibes were going to be. I figured I'd just walk into the room and wing it.
2, 3, 4.
We were all there clearly to play together, and that's something that we hadn't done for 20 years. There were a lot of expectations. I'm sure there were a lot of doubts, a lot of fears. It was magical.
It was exciting. It was something I'd almost forgotten. There's a certain feeling when the four of us play together that I can't explain. I can't put my finger on it, but there's just this chemistry.
For the first time in over 15 years, Gene and Paul were reunited on stage with Peter and Ace for an amazing encore of 5 classic Kiss tunes. An irresistible force was set into motion.
We got some members of the family here tonight. And we're not talking about mom and dad. We're talking about Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley.
When I walked out with Peter, the audience went completely nuts. My daughter was sitting in the front row with a friend, and everybody jumped out of their chairs, and it was one of the most amazing welcomes and a gratifying feeling. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
When Ace and Peter got up on stage, there was some, the phoenix rises from the ashes sense to it. It was very Christian in some ways, sort of a rebirth. And Ace wasted no time in jumping right to the front of the stage and going, "I'm back!" It was great.
Don't you know I'm a 2000 man?
Ace says he had premonitions that he saw us all back together again. We were up there together, and Gene looked at me, and I was like, wow. I knew the magic was there. I could feel it in the room. The crowd knew it was still there. And I wished in my own little special way that, wow, I wish we were back again together because it felt that good.
I don't know if I was hallucinating or not, but when I looked over at Gene, for some reason I had a feeling that the Unplugged session was going to turn into a reunion tour. Basically, my gut instincts were correct.
That when it came time and Gene and I talked and he said, yes, we're going to put on the makeup, I said, I'll be right over, because I knew that this would be what it ended up to be and what is going to be the biggest rock band of all time.
I heard it so many times.